And tonight, our topic is going to be major prepper mistake. All right. How's everybody doing out there? All right. Dave is putting Charles down.
Right. Not
All
that
right.
kind of down, folks. Putting him to bed, tucking him nicely.
Putting him down for the night.
Not putting him down.
Yeah. All righty. So let's see who all's in here. Will's in here at JIT Preparedness Info. CR from north of the border.
Warren's here.
Warren Lewis is here. Caitlin Strain is here. Those are the only ones that are making comment. Everyone was talking back and forth there.
Right.
All righty. And yeah, we got more than that on the list here, but okay, so tonight, major prepper mistakes. I mean, I really hate pointing this out, but we got to point it out to save people from making the mistakes, blowing money, and getting
going nuts
and getting fed up with prepping. All right. So let's go ahead and move this over here. All right. I would have to say the number one mistake, everyone in the side chat, you can agree or disagree with this. The number one mistake that a person makes when they start prepping, and even when they've been into it for a little while, the number one mistake is, if I get it to go here, there we go. No plan. They have no plan. No, we know what we're doing. We don't need a plan. No, we don't need a plan. Yeah.
I have two plans. I have a backup plan and my original plans.
Yeah.
And I always have a third set in case of something else.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I've been in emergency preparedness fairs and stuff for 20 some odd years teaching and stuff. And that is probably the biggest mistake people make. And it is the biggest roadblock they have. It causes them to get all frustrated, and some people just to give up because they're having a hard time prepping. It's like, did you write down a plan of what you want to do? No. So anyways, so that's number one. Close to it, in the same vein, is having a bad bug out plan. And I've actually talked to some people, and it's like, I get a headache. It's like, oh, so what are you planning to do in an emergency? Well, if things get really bad, we're going to bug out. Cool, you got a bug out plan. Yeah, we got a bug out plan. What are you doing? Well, we got all this stuff here. We're going to pack in the car. We're going to go. Yeah, where are you going to? Do you have a site picked out? No, we're just going to get out of here. We're going to head up to a cousin's or something, or out to another state and rent a motel room or whatever till it blows over. You don't know where you're going. People don't know where you're going, family and stuff. Yeah, that's
right. Usually these folks aren't prepared to the realities. I've been burned out twice, flooded out once. So I understand the realities, folks. You have to figure out where, after you leave the house and your home and stuff, how are you going to support yourself first financially once you get to your bug out location? And second, where are you going to live at your bug out location? Well, we got a tent. There's 4 feet of snow out there, and we're going to get a snow front. I don't see too many people bugging out in Idaho in the winter. Gil?
No. Those that do bug out here have cabins. All right. So having a bad bug out plan is another mistake. It's going to cost them dearly in the end. Now, as far as where they're at, I think this is probably the biggest mistake they make. They don't have any stored water on site.
Right. Pools don't count, folks.
No.
And I keep telling this to people. If I see another person show me a weird water purification trick or a filter, I swear to God, I'm going to shove it where it doesn't shine anymore. It froze.
Yeah. Yeah. The people are saying, "Oh, I just run it through a life straw." No.
I got to see. I want to see you to do that.
I still hear people say, "I got a life straw. It's good for 10,000 gallons." Yeah, 10,000 gallons of clear water. You go out to a creek and you start sucking on that sucker. After about 10 gallons, it's going to be plugged up.
I got to see. That's a horrible. You know what I'm talking about, Gil, about a seat? Yeah. Next one.
So anyways, no stored water on site. And people's biggest complaint on this is, well, it's so bulky. It weighs so much. And I'm not going to grab the can of dehydrated water as a joke. This is really no joking matter. Your water storage is something you really have to think about and plan about. There are some really cool square little things that you can slide under the bed.
Yep.
If you got a bookcase or whatever, put it on the bottom shelf of the bookcase. Put some books in front of it. There's ways you can hide these square, rectangular, stackable water containers around the place if you're in a house or an apartment. If you have a garage, hey, you got places to store it out in the garage. Don't stack it too high, or make sure it's all very secured to the wall.
And don't put it on the ground.
Yeah. There's some people that say, food's not a priority right now. I need to get all my pew-pews, my cool tactical gear, all my compasses, and all my other funky stuff I need, and everything else.
47 machetes.
Yeah, I need 20,000 pounds of freedom seeds, and it's like, what about food? Oh, I can get that later. Next thing you know, oh crap, there's no food for me to get. So yeah, that's one of the things that they make some make a mistake at, is they prioritize their stuff wrong. Then there are those that store food that, hey, this is on sale, let's get a bunch of it. But we don't eat it, honey. Oh, we'll eat it in a disaster. We'll get it. Well, this is an emergency. And they get stuff they'll never eat.
Right. Now, this is also a common effect in gardens, because people complain to me, I grew all these tomatoes. I said, what else did you grow? I just grow tomatoes and peppers. What else did you grow? I grew lettuce. I grew Swiss chard. Okay. What nutritional food did you grow? After 20 minutes of he's saying, I got all these peppers and tomatoes and all this stuff and celery. And I keep asking him, what kind of nutritious food have you grown? And he just looks at me like I'm crazy.
Now, one of the things is, you talk about the gardening aspect of preppers that grow gardens and stuff. What is probably the number one thing you grow in a garden that has a bit of fiber in it and has a lot of carbohydrates? Corn. All right. So they store food they don't eat, or they grow food that doesn't provide enough nutrition for them. All right. Next thing here. And I've actually seen a couple people do this. And of course, Al and I know somebody from north of the border who, after 5 years, had to throw away a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They store more food than they can eat. Canned foods from the store. They store more food than they can possibly eat before it goes bad. Not just past the best use by date. We're talking about a year or two past that best use by date when the can starts rotting.
Right. And I remember somebody else had a really swollen can, number 10 can.
Yes. Yeah. But he only had, I think he said he only had like 2 or 3 of those.
Right. So, folks, when you store food, make sure you rotate it and understand what you're storing, because one down in LA and one up in Canada, and I think one in Washington goofed it up really bad. It's like, we got all this tuna on sale, 47 cans of tuna. Okay, what size cans did you get? We got the Kirkland's big cans. Okay,
so unless you're doing a Boy Scout troop all summer long, you ain't going to go through that in a couple of years.
Right, it's a 16-ounce can. Am I right, Gil?
Actually, it's big more than that. The big Kirkland one,
24 or 16.
More.
Yeah.
You're looking like a 32 or a 64-ounce can of tuna. That big monster.
If you have 47 of them, folks, it's
like I said, you need to start feeding Boy Scouts all summer long
for the neighborhood cats
before you get through it. But yeah, so storing more than what you can eat, before it goes bad, is a bad idea. They try to buy everything at once when it's on sale. No, you buy a little. You start setting up so you buy a little at a time, and you make it well-rounded, and you don't buy all stuff in cans. One of the things talked about is the tomatoes soups and the tomato pasta sauces.
Right.
In cans, they have a short shelf life. In jars, you double or triple that shelf life because it's not eating away at the can. There's no can.
It's eating away the lid.
Actually, if you keep them upright, you don't have to worry about that.
Right. Another thing you have to be careful of is pineapple. Any citrus-based food, pineapple, mandarin oranges, oranges, anything with a high citric base will self-destruct in 2 years. Anybody seen Hubble's cat video? I have to dump this 5-gallon jug of peaches.
Yeah.
And watch it go down the garbage disposal.
Yeah, so this is another major mistake, a waste of money and food that some preppers make when it's on sale, I'm going to buy a lot. And what I see Dave's in. That means that Charles is in bed. That when I say you find something on sale, buy 2, 3, maybe 10 things, and that's it. You don't want to go overboard. You want to build up your rotational stock. All right, next thing, supply tunnel vision. Now, when I talk about supply tunnel vision, we're not talking just food here. We're talking all the supplies. Oh, I'm focused on toilet paper. I'm focused on freedom seeds. I'm focused on paper towels. I'm focused on sanitary needs.
I got a better one. CDC says do not store gasoline in Walmart plastic bags.
Oh, everybody says that. Yeah.
You don't want to watch somebody's car explode while going down the highway and sending shrapnel into the 22 cars next to it?
I saw several of those videos so far. Where people
I've seen one that there was in a row 6 cars on fire because they were putting Walmart bags of gasoline inside plastic tubs while smoking inside the car.
Anyways, on supply tunnel vision, you want to make sure you're, once again, well-rounded on your supplies. You don't want to focus just on one supply.
Hey, I'm kind of round in the middle. Does that count?
Yeah. No comment. Because I resemble that remark too, and I'm trying to get rid of that. Like Steve at Corsair Trainer says, "Ooh, tactical! I got all this tactical vests and gear and boots and pants and shirts and hats and jackets and gloves. I got all the tactical stuff." Well, tactical is fine in its proper perspective.
Yeah.
And following off that, you don't want to go. I know there are some people out there seen on their channels. All they talk about is getting weapons. Others go. Here we go back to the tactical. They got to have the latest and greatest and nothing else. If they have old stuff, they sell it to buy the new stuff.
Now, I is guilty a little bit on this one. I do like some of the new stuff that comes out.
Yeah,
but
you don't get all
of
the new stuff. You don't get it in detriment to everything else.
No, I just have to go get the mop to clean the drool off the floor sometimes. But
yeah,
right.
But you got to do things in perspective.
Right, but folks, also remember, if this was certain things, certain situations, if you dress up in tactical gear, let's say you're in a third world country or America, you could be arrested for being an insurgent or enemy force fairly easy because you're wearing
arrested. Nothing. You're going to get shot by somebody.
Right.
Yeah. So your tactical gear and stuff has its place, but it's not the end all, the be all. A lot of the tactical gear, I've been doing emergency preparedness since 1971. A lot of tactical gear people rave about. Tactical vest, I don't got one. Never had one. Never needed one. I got a musket bag I toss stuff into, but I don't need all that other fancy baloney stuff. Now, and then there's those ones that get all their tactical gear and all their cool stuff, and they never take it out of the package, or they don't know how to use it. It's like, what do I do with this? How does this work?
By the way, folks, that is Karen out of her element. She's totally confused.
Yep.
All right. Wait, I'm going to back up to that. I'm going to go back to that one here. If you have something, what should you be doing with it? I'm looking for one word.
OPSEC.
No, one word. Begins with a P, ends with an E.
Practice.
Practice, practice, practice.
Like this thing. I have more people look at me and says, "What's that?" I say it's a spoon, and they believe me. It's a spoon because it does that.
Yeah.
They never know you can open cans with it. They're a generation of pull tops.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, whatever your gear is, you got to know how to use it, how to take care of it, get it out of its package, use it, practice with it. Okay.
That in my opinion is the number one biggest fail. All of these have their issues. People buy food that they don't eat. They store it anyway. They buy all this nice fancy schmancy gear. I mean, yeah, titanium cook pots with titanium sporks and knives and sill tarps. And I literally could go on for an hour because, I do have some of that stuff. I've got sill tarps. I don't have titanium cook pots.
Yeah.
I don't have the nice fancy life boil that converts fuel energy and charges my cell phone. I've got a couple battery backups that do that for me. I'll use the sun. Thank you. That's that's the biggest thing is they do not practice what they have. So if here's a test number one. If you have a fire rod, of magnesium and flint, or you have a ferro rod, when was the last time you went out and practiced making a sustainable, not just a little spark, a sustainable fire to cook over? Or when was the last time you took that ferro rod and a knife blade, grabbed some wet tinder and created a fire out of damp and wet tinder? If you can't create a fire in a wet environment, you're hosed. Not just by Mother Nature herself, but yourself for failing to learn how to do it.
Right, especially in the snow with your hands half frozen. Try that.
And yeah, just like in the bottom of this picture, fail. But
if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Exactly. All right, OPSEC. OPSEC is operational security. And during World War II, the catchphrase was "loose lips sinks ships." So lack of OPSEC is where they start bragging about everything, not just some of the stuff, everything they have.
Can I bring up a different view to that though?
Okay.
And I'm gonna bring up current world event. early last weekend, and a news agency reported that a certain country was going to start a ground campaign. That ground campaign was OPSEC, and in fact, it was disinformation. It caused the enemy to go into their underground tunnels where they got the bombed out of their butts.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes reverse psychology is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But for preppers, we're not that big and we don't have those resources. Our OPSEC is to protect what we have and not be blathering everything we have on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram,
Froze.
yeah, Snapchat, or whatever else, they do it, or broadcast to everybody at work around the water cooler. Yeah, I just picked up a new 308 30 drum round magazine with this, that, and the other. And, yeah, you don't want to be going putting everything you have out there. If you were trying to get a neighbor to start prepping, you might say, yeah, hey, I picked up a couple of cases of toilet paper. They were on sale over here. You may want to go get some more toilet paper. Oh, hey, they had a bunch of soda crackers, still have freshly done ones. They got a good long shelf life on them. They're on sale over at Safeway. Go get them. Talk to them, common sense stuff like that. Don't tell them, yeah, I got 45 tons of food and 57 Freedom Sticks and all. Don't tell them everything.
Right. May I bring up a point, guys? Mm-hmm. On Doomsday Preppers, there's 2 events happened on that show that cracked me up. One couple who was on Doomsday Prepper did not do this. OPSEC. They came back to the house was gone, all their prepping stuff was gone, all their Freedom Stick, all their pew-pew, their car, their farm animals, everything was gone, including most of their house. Front door was gone, windows were gone, refrigerator was gone, toilet was gone, sinks. They stripped the place down. The second guy had something that nobody should have if you're a prepper, and he went overboard, and his group is serving 5 to 7 years for illegal material and goods. And Gills knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They were bragging about how they also modified their ARs. So they were, yeah. Okay. Here's a good comment here. Kaylin says her relatives don't know that she prepped. They just know she has a bit of supply of a few things. All right. After OPSEC, event tunnel vision. This is a different type of tunnel vision. Before we talk about tunnel vision on supplies, like concentrating on all weapons or concentrating on the tactical. This is concentrating on the event. Oh,
I was waiting for the New Madrid fault to pop.
Exactly. Or I am prepping for hurricanes here in North Dakota. Or I am prepping for all my preps are all aimed at tornadoes or ice storms or pandemics or terrorists or whatever. They got tunnel vision. They got the target fixation as the fighter on one thing and one thing only.
Like aliens.
Yeah.
Aliens. Hey, according to the commercial, aliens are real, man. There's just too much evidence.
Hi, Steve.
YouTube commercial.
Steve's here
and
Steve. He's doing stuff. He's lurking.
Yeah, it means he's listening to us on his phone. All right. So you need to be prep well-rounded. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, so you're balanced. All right. You don't want your scales all tipping to one side, like, okay. You want to be well-rounded, well-balanced in your preps. And I got some pictures here or some graphs here to explain it. So if this circle here is being is a target for a well-rounded prepper, and the center,
that's not my Freedom Sea target.
No, and the center is where is your starting point. So one guy, let's see, he's into And you notice he's leaning way outside the circle into that area, and he goes a little bit towards whatever's over here. And you'll see what these other areas are as we go along. See, he goes past the center out towards, he has a little bit of food. Now, this person is mainly into food. Look at all, they go way overboard on food. They got a few little weapons over here. They're going in that direction a little bit, but their mainly focus is food, not water. Food. And the next one here, this guy's he's one of the ones I'm going to bug out. We talked about the bug out ones without a plan in the beginning, but they're kind of you notice they're off over here a little bit more to food than they are to the weapons over here on the side down here of the center dot, and they're you see their main focus is bugging out. Then the next one here, now someone's into
froze.
All right. Someone's into icicles?
They're into food and gardening, all the stuff here. Yeah, they have some stuff. They have a few. They are out here a little bit towards the weapons side or food side stuff. And this is strictly gardening and canning stuff they're doing. They're not planning to bug out at all. And the next one here, they're planning on bugging in only. It looks like they're going bug outside here, but that's just because they have camping gear. They like to camp, and they don't realize, hey, camping gear is good for bugging out. But they have their primary focus is bugging in, but they want to do everything. They have their food, they have their weapons, they have their garden, but they're planning on bugging in is their main focus on what they're going to do.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Okay.
Who was the greatest on May 18th, the greatest bug-in person? Harry R. Truman. And I'll let you guys stew about that. May 18th, and I'll give you the year. 1980. Harry R. Truman.
Mount St. Helens.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. All right. So, we'll talk about that in a minute. So, now the red guy here, here's the target to be a well-rounded prepper. He's working on, he's getting out there. He still has a ways to go, but he has a ways to go evenly. He's not just all lopsided in one way or the other. He's working on it, working his way out, working evenly on his preps.
Well, Uncle Joe said he was going to give him another big old stimulus check, and he's going to be able to finish out his plan in that way.
Yeah. And so, I've shown this picture on several times before, and I chopped off the bottom bit of it, which tells what all the little numbers are on the screen here. It also gives the family's name and stuff, so I left that off. But they talk about their number 47 is 5-gallon buckets of honey, and then they got canned goods. They got vinegar up here. They've got all their different grains and stuff. They've got other canned goods down here. They got buckets of wheat. They got, everything's laid out here. And if you see the actual list, they've got stuff pretty well rounded because, wait a minute, they don't have any pew-pew sticks.
Or toilet paper.
Seeds. Oh, yeah, that's what these, wait. There are packages of toilet paper around somewhere. Maybe in the boxes, but over here, number 46 is their rifles, their pistols, in a gun case. They're not going overboard. They just have what they need to protect themselves, or maybe take down a deer.
Right. I don't see a toilet either.
They don't have.
I actually see quite a few of them. Any one of those buckets can be turned into one.
I think 52. No, that's a hose. That's a garden hose.
Right.
But yeah, they got canning pots, everything else here. They got a lot. Everything's listed here. They got a lot of stuff, and so they're pretty much well rounded in what they have in their supplies.
Caleb, they don't have a cat or a dog anymore. It got boxed up.
I don't see the cat.
I don't see the dog either.
But they've got a lot of stuff listed here. If you actually read everything they have, it explains. Like 17, it lists everything under 17 here. So that's a bunch of stuff. So it's they have a lot of stuff well rounded. However, what is the bad thing about this picture?
Zero OPSEC.
Yeah, they're showing everything they have, or
Even if it's not everything, they're showing enough right there to make certain Ozark Mountain people drool with lust over trying to go take it.
Yeah.
I won't mention any animals' names.
But yeah, so, this may only be a quarter of what they have, but this is enough showing what they have to make them a target.
Yep.
Okay, for those who are experiencing stream issues, as was mentioned briefly on my live stream, there is solar activity going on. It's very mild, but it can and does create minor disruptions. It's not the end of the world, folks. It's not. It's minor. End of the world's coming later.
Especially if you're on wireless, is a little more stuff there. All right, let's go to this. Okay, that's the end of what I had there. So folks, since Steve is floating around here, and as you see, of course, there's trainers. If you haven't seen his video on OPSEC, go watch his video on OPSEC.
Just fair warning for our snowflake people who will come by and I choked on snowflakes. Damn it, I hate that. For the snowflakes who keep coming by and trying to diss or say things that are nasty or whatever, you think you're the smartest know-it-alls. Well, go check yourself, because guess what? There's always somebody that has just a tad bit more knowledge about something than you do. You may have something more than them, but there's almost always somebody who's just a tad bit smarter than you are when it comes to something. So when you're watching these videos, live streams, whatever, come into an open mind. Don't come in all blocked off and stuck up and arrogant, because you know what? That just goes to prove, A, you're not as smart as you're pretending to be, and B, you're going to be the first ones DOA if something happens, because you really aren't going to survive in the first place, because those of us who are small and do practice what we preach will be the ones that stand up on top. Now, am I saying I'm going to be one of the ones on top? Probably not, because A, I don't want a position of authority. I'm going to stay in my own little back corner and take care of me and Charles.
All right. Now, this...
Welcome back there, Backwoods.
Okay. Hey, Backwoods Law. Yeah, I tried to throw the link to the video in days before I left over there. Okay. What Dave just said about there's always someone who knows a little bit better, more than you do, is a little bit better, and everything else. Now, remind me of a YouTube video I was watching. I can't show it per se, but I can show the
hey Ginger,
the search on it, the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Right.
If you have not seen that, you'll understand. He's going along. He's the fastest guy going along that. All of a sudden, this new at the end of it, this new guy comes in, and he goes. They're talking and stuff. He goes, "So, well, you want me to give you a countdown?" And he goes, "Nope, that won't be necessary." Bang. And he takes his hat off, and there's a hole in the front of his hat. Looks at the back. There's blood splattered all over the back of his hat. He looks up, and he's got a bullet hole here. And he goes, "Dang, that's not good. I should always figure there's going to be somebody faster coming along."
Right. Our live stream on the phone, it's just doing a circle right now.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, folks. It's the whatchamacallit.
It's YouTube, because my other over here, I just got bumped here on it. Let me refresh, bring it back in. Yeah, it's YouTube that's kicking off right now. They haven't done that in a while.
Again, it's minor disruptions, not the end of the world. It's not to flip out and freak out about, because it'll happen again and again and again.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
Steve?
It's normal.
There we go.
Now, if you look up in the sky and see a bright green aurora, northern light, and you live down in the south like Louisiana and Florida, and you see the auroras, then you may want to consider a little fast-paced thought processes. But yeah, it's just normal, and don't worry about it.
Yeah, Steve says the internet's screwing up too, and he's down there in LA with all the good cell coverage, and yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just
watching his favorite text.
I'm hardwired to my router, and it keeps, and even over here, my other computer, it keeps going, it's getting circles and stuff. So
Right.
it is YouTube and the internet tonight all acting up. So, hey, so that's something else. Are you prepped for the internet going down? If not, go check out Mama Bear Prepping. She did a video just on, are you ready for when the internet goes down?
Okay, later, Steve. He's sliding out because you save yourself. The Illuminati.
Illuminati, yeah. No, Steve, no. Wolverines. That's an inside joke between Steve and me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be quiet.
All right.
Next slide.
Hey, Ginger.
There's no more slides. He ran out of pretty pictures.
No, it's just that. So everyone in side chat now.
Provided they can still hear us.
Provided you can still. I just lost it over here again.
I just lost. Gil, you froze. Now you're not frozen now.
Yeah. There's a lot of crap going on here.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you can hear me.
If you can just restart your browser.
Yeah, just restart or refresh the page. That's what I'm doing over here on the other computer.
Yeah,
In the side chat, put what you think is the biggest mistake that preppers make. Not necessarily new preppers. There could be some old-time preppers that are still making a big mistake. So what do you think it is?
Not paying attention to what's going on around them first and foremost. As in the current situation with the internet going all flaky-dakey. If you've been watching channels like Suspicious Observers, which are scientifically backed and proven factual, and watched SDO and the other satellites we got orbiting our sun, you would have seen that it's very, very minor. It's a very small CME, very tiny, but it's being backed up with a fairly strong
coronal ejection.
No.
Not ejection?
No. Coronal hole wind speed.
Okay.
The coronal hole is pushing the little tiny CME a little bit faster, and it's kind of bunching up, creating the instability we're currently experiencing. If you want to understand and learn more, go watch Suspicious Observers.
Yeah.
Go through the playlists. You might learn something.
Okay, I got total darkness on my screen.
Yeah.
You looking at ghosts again?
No, I just saw barely your head,
too.
Dave, it's disappeared.
Like Warren says, he gets the buffering, the little circle, then he gets fails with error. I've had 2 of those on my other computer.
I got black.
Yeah, don't refresh your screen. Actually, turn the video off completely. Exit completely out of the app you're using. If you're on a mobile device, exit completely out. Make sure it's completely exited out, and then restart it.
Yeah. There we go. And that's not. And that just went from live to a 5-second delay on that one.
I'm still buffering. But wait, I got it. I got partially your head. I got Gil, I got me, and I got half of Dave.
All right. And Kaylin put it out there. There it is. That's supposed to be not a 9 there.
There's the link there.
Yeah.
All right.
And I got a message that something went wrong. Shoot. No kidding.
It's the topic, man. The overlords are watching you. It's your topic.
Yeah.
They don't realize they're messing with the former head of Department of Homeland Security.
So, anyways, all right. No. Ben said that one. Hang on. What does it say here? She said.
Okay, hold on. Backwoods. That Class C that you're referring to, that was just announced this morning, is actually not coming to Earth. That coronal area is actually facing behind us right at the moment. The last C class was actually facing away from the Earth, contrary to what places like Oppenheimer Ranch and BP Earthwatch and Pastor Paul Bagley are spreading around the internet, they're all wrong because they're trying to spread fear porn.
Yep.
Okay. I monitor the sun every single day. I watch every satellite. I've dived into it for the last 6 years. That's why I can speak with somewhat of a knowledge on it. That C-class is behind the Earth. Yeah. What's coming at us now was just a little teeny blip from last weekend. It is very slow moving.
Okay, I'm getting some. That's weird. So I turned Kaylin's comment off, and it's still grayed out over on the side here.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
What's next?
All right. So there are a lot of major mistakes preppers make. And one of the ones I didn't put in here because I've talked about it before. In fact, we just had a live stream on it a couple 2 weeks ago. Budgeting.
Don't have a budget to work with, so I don't budget anything.
So I mean, but they go and blow their whole budget, and they go out and buy all the stuff, and then unless both partners are together on it, either he or she is going to be ticked off at the other one that, well, you don't have money to pay the water bill, or what.
Froze.
That was just a normal freeze.
Yep.
So budgeting, making sure you don't want to be spending too much too fast, where you have problems in the rest of your life, because you still got to make the car payments if you're making car payments, house rent or house payment, insurance, food for the normal food you're eating, clothing for the kids if you have any, normal stuff, gas, water, sewer, all that fun stuff. You need to be able to pay for it. And if you blow your entire budget for the month on preps, all of a sudden it's like,
Right. Or like a lot of in early 60s during the bomb shelter craze, a lot of people blew their life savings and budget building really crappy bomb shelters. And I was watching one that somebody discovered had all the supplies and stuff, also 6 feet of water in the shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in the shelter was covered in water. You see first aid kits, pews, everything was underwater. Beds, food, just floating by.
Backwoods, they're also the same people that say we're going into grand solar minimum right now. They say the sun's not going to wake back up, which the sun's telling us obviously different. But they're saying we're going to grand solar minimum right now. We're not. Cycle 25 is not going to be the grand solar minimum.
Yeah. So, all right. So budget. All right. I'm going to talk about stuff. Well, I'm not monetized, so I don't have to worry about getting dinged too bad here. So some people are out there, and we talked about had the slide of all weapons and stuff. It had guns, knives, swords.
Trucks.
All right. How many hands do you have? I only got 2, and my feet don't have opposable big toes. So I can only use 2 at a time. I don't need to have 15 or 20 rifles and another 15 or 20 pistols. Yet, and I'm trying to consult. Oh, that one just went dead again. It's acting up again. I'm trying to consolidate what we have. My youngest son has a 4570 government. He's looking for the 4570 in the Thompson Center, as well as he saw a revolver that takes 4570.
Right, the single action, the big hand cannon.
It's double action, but it's the big hand cannon. Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about. That's big.
and it has the detachable. So it has a screw in the bottom, so you can put a stock on it, so you can use your pistol with a shoulder thing on it. He's looking at getting one of that. So his round is going to be 45-70. I'm looking for my wife. Been talking with Ryan Jeske at Prescott Caliber Club, looking at the what I think it was.
I'll be right back.
Reed. It was Reed that clued me into it. The 5.7, and I guess Ruger now is coming out with a 5.7 that's a lot cheaper than the FNL 5.7. And guess what Ryan told me about? He says they have the 5.7 in a rifle as well, so you can have the same ammunition for pistol and rifle. He's just waiting for him to make it so the magazines are interchangeable. But that's some of the stuff you look at if you're going to be going for your rifles and stuff. Try to make it stuff so your pistol ammunition is the same. What did the Cowboys shoot, Dave? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Usually they had the same thing for once they had cartridge pistols instead of ball and cap, they had the cartridges for both. They got the same caliber pistol and rifle, so they only had to carry one type of ammunition. Skinner Farms, hey! And we got Bob here too. Yeah, Bob, that was at the 4440. It was great for the lever action rifle, and it was great in the pistol. So if you're thinking about, if you are thinking about your weapons, you don't need, I need a 308, I need a 223, I need a the 5.56 NATO, I need the 30-06, I need the 45-70, I need a 12 gauge, a 20 gauge, a 16 gauge, a 410 gauge. No, you only have two hands, and you should try to limit it down. Now,
here, I'll give you the three in my personal opinion that you should have. Not counting a pistol, you need a Henry AR-7, which is a collapsible 22, which is great for rabbits and squirrels. You need something in an AR platform, be it 5.56, 223. Be it an AR-15, AR-16, AR-10, and you need a shotgun 12 gauge. Those are the only three you really need. Mm-hmm. Not counting a pistol. That way you can do anything you need to do, whether it's hunt, self-preservation, you're covered.
Yeah. Now, as far as some of the stuff I have, my favorite is my revolver. It's a Smith & Wesson model 28 Highway Patrolman. It's the N frame. The N frame is the one that the 44 Magnum is on, but it's a 357 with the 8 3/8 inch barrel Highway Patrolman. Well, guess what? Winchester makes a 357 Magnum saddle rifle, lever action. Guess what's on my wish list? So that way my pistol and my rifle.
A 20 millimeter Barrett?
That's my other wish list. That's the XM 109 with a 25 millimeter. Yeah, but that's That's my simple. Last wish list.
I'm simple. I just want an M203.
Yeah, but my plan is to get the lever action 357 to go with my revolver. One type of ammunition, and I'm good to go. And what's neat is, at least you used to be able to get it by a box of 1,000 rounds of 38 wad cutters. Works in both. A wad cutter still does a lot.
For me right
does
now,
damage.
I think for me, if I was to go out and spend finances to procure said weaponry, I would go with I'll have to try. I think it's the Extreme Penetrator from Lehigh Defense. That is solid brass. Lead free. You don't have to worry about violating any lead free states that way. And it makes wad cutters look like clay candy.
Yeah. Well, wad cutters, for those who don't know what it is for target practice, for shooting, for cutting, for cutting the holes in the targets. It's a minimum lead bullet, and But the other thing is that my middle child, my oldest son, was looking at the people. Don't get mad when I say this. The Glock model 29 SF small frame. Now it is a 10 millimeter pistol, but hey, guess what else you can shoot out of it? The Smith & Wesson 40 caliber. It's just like the 38 and 57. One's longer than the other, but the Glock will fire both. And he was also looking at, since we were talking, at the high power 1095, which is the 10 millimeter carbine. Which wait a minute.
They may have backwoods. They may have.
It's set up to it's set up to where it can take both the 10 millimeter and the 40 as well. So that actually gives you two different types of ammunition using two different weapons on that system. And it's been a while since I've had this problem. And it wasn't me; it was my other ones too. I just checked a couple of the live streams; they're having the same problem.
Yeah, everybody's having a problem across the board.
Look what I posted a little bit ago. There is a current geomagnetic storm, a KP index of 4. It's nothing to worry about. We're not even in the red right now. It's a yellow. It's nothing to worry about. It's
folks, if you're hearing this, you're watching the replay, because I checked a tablet, my cell phone, and my mother's computer. We're not coming through.
Yeah, well, I'm coming through a little bit over here. But
we're just talking to space now.
Yeah, right. We're StreamYard is still recording it, so it'll be on the playback.
Right. So folks, just watch the playback if you can hear us.
Yeah. All right. The other thing here right now, since we're getting to the end of the hour here, so Friday, Dave, you're doing weekly news roundup, right?
Yep.
At 9 Eastern.
We did Friday, one good piece of news today from the U.S. Supreme Court on Second Amendments.
Ooh, cool. I missed that.
Yeah, they said it's no longer legal for departments to take and illegally seize freedom sticks and seeds because somebody filed a complaint about them may be willing to hurt themselves. They've ruled it illegal for departments to do that.
Cool. Basically, they just killed the red flag law.
Correct.
Pretty much. That doesn't mean it's going to go into effect anytime soon, but
Yeah.
That's our current system.
Yeah. All right. So on Camppatton Family Compound, my other channel, on Friday night on the Homestead, this is going to be kind of one that works both ways, both for homesteading and prepping. And the topic is, what is the plan when you are sick? Who's going to milk the cow? Who's going to work the garden? Who's going to go earn the paycheck? So,
it's in trouble, Dan.
Yeah. So that's what the topic is going to be on Friday. Is what is your plan when you're the one that's sick? What's the backup for who's going to be taking care of business?
Right. I got my nephew, so I don't have to worry about that. But this gets to a lot of lone wolfers. I could survive out there by myself. And then years later, we found his dead corpse up there next to the ridge in that little tent. Or that crazy lady in Utah. Remember, I'm half starved. I'm in the tent all winter.
Yeah. All righty. So I think we're going to wrap it up here. Any last thoughts? Dave?
No, I'm drawing a blank right now. For once.
Al, any last thoughts on bad mistakes or anything else coming up?
I did a video on this on the first 3 mistakes. You don't store enough food, you don't have water, and you don't have a garden. And those 3, everybody messes up because they show me a water filter or water tablets or this life straw. If I see another life straw, I'm going to puke.
Yeah,
Hold on, let me get mine.
But also the garden. I told Gil previously, this one guy on 5 channels, they're all the same. They keep complaining. I got this huge garden. I got Swiss chard. I got lettuce. I got tomatoes and peppers.
Yeah.
And they asked me what was wrong.
Yeah, they didn't have anything with carbohydrates.
Right.
All right. So coming out tomorrow will be Prepping for Beginners video number 1. Why should I prepare? And then I'm going to be working on for hopefully next week. Next Wednesday, I'll have number 2, which is it too late to start prepping? And then I'm going to be working on Al's one that he was ticked off about at the beginning here was setting up your plan. It's going to be part A, B, and C. This is going to be one that I've taught for years from Homeland Security at emergency preparedness fairs. It's a 1-hour class, but I got to break it up into 3 20-minute segments so everybody doesn't get, or
like Steve.
So that's what's coming up here for GrayManPrepping. And of course, I got to redo Al's the VR to Al's Franken beans.
Yeah.
So
I have to go buy me a can. I ain't got none in stock.
Everybody send a can of beans too.
No, don't.
So the Ohio prepping and some hot dogs. And
I've got plenty of those. I got like 8 packages of those in the freezer.
Oh yeah.
Dave opens the door. There's Federal Express with hot dogs and beans.
Hey, no, not Federal. I don't need black SUVs pulling up in front of the house.
The other guy, UPS.
Yeah. All righty, folks. We're looks like we're done here, and so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to end this with a clip, a 1-minute clip that's going to be at the beginning of the video tomorrow. And so, everyone, stay happy, stay safe, stay prepared. And here's this little video clip for you. All right, that's what's coming out tomorrow. See you guys then. Take care.